I usually use GFE.
Okay.
Hey, VA wants to give me a laptop. Of course I'm gonna use it. We need to get you a piece of wood.
Hmm?
We need to get
Oh,
you
the
a piece
little
of wood so that in your tables.
Strap it to the back of Shane's head.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is when you hit that, it reverberates through.
Oh, the speaker. Yeah.
By the way, we're recording right now.
That's okay.
All right, good morning, everybody. We'll go ahead and get the meeting started. For those joining online, remember you're not able to vote as of yet. All on microphones, please keep them muted. If you have any questions, put them in the chat box or ask us at the end of the meeting. And we have completed our constitution and bylaws in order to allow online voting with the exception of elections. And we just got to gather them up and get them submitted to the department judge advocate. Nothing's working. It was working a minute ago. Did you do what? Did you curse it?
All right. We're at RTG. Let's go.
Yep.
Comrades, you are called to order for the open ceremony. Comrades, attention. All guests and veterans who give the hand salute and others place your right hand over your heart. Now please join me in giving the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. Ready? Two. All right. Comrades will now be held in a prayer by our chaplain.
Or stand-in chaplain.
Standing chaplain as of right now, please, sir.
Let us pray. This is the day the Lord has made, so let us rejoice and be glad in it. We thank you for the beautiful sunshine that warms the earth and warms our body, and warms our relationships. We thank you for DAV and all it is accomplishing for its better. We thank you for our meeting today. We ask your blessing upon, especially upon the installation of our new officers. Lay your hand upon them to guide them and direct them over this new year. We just pray, Lord, that you would help us to take every opportunity we have, being able to minister to our veterans in need. We pray these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. As a reminder, we're here to address only matters specific to our organization. All discussions must be relevant to our mission statement. So I now declare this meeting open for the transaction of such business as may rightfully before. Have a seat. Thank you. All right. Comrade Adjutant, will you call the roll of officers, please?
Aye, Comrade Commander, the roll of officers. Commander Peasy,
Here.
Senior Vice Commander Anna Lutz is excused. First Junior Vice Commander Bob Whaley. Here. Second Junior Vice Commander Joe LaHaye. Here. Treasurer Kathleen Schultz.
Here.
Immediate Past Commander Shane Lerman. Here. Department Executive Committee Member Chandler Peasy.
Here.
Alternate DEC Shane Lerman. Here. Officer of the Day Jim Anders. Here. Sergeant at Arms is vacant. Judge Advocate Owen Schultz. Here. BPTL is currently vacant. And Adjutant Shane Lerman present. We have a quorum, Comrade Commander.
Thank you. All right, the treasurer, sorry, go ahead. Introduce online, please.
So I'll go ahead and read through everybody that's in the room that is signed in this morning. So those with us in the room are Gary Salpini, Erwin Schultz, Kathy Schultz, G.A. Redding, Eric Landuit, close enough? Oh, right on. Ritesh Gimar, close enough? All right, I'm on a roll. Call me butter.
So sweet.
Jeff Capizzi, Joe LaHaye, Jim Anders, John Hoffman, Scott Tremarky, Bob Whaley, Will King from the department, and Shane Learman. Those of us who joined us online is King Morano and B. Stevens. Did I miss anybody else who's joined us online? Outstanding. That is everybody present in attendance in the room or online, Comrade Commander.
Awesome, thank you. Can you please read the last minutes of the meeting?
I would love to, Comrade Commander.
Thank you.
The April 15th business meeting was recorded and is now live on our YouTube channel and our website. The link was sent out to the entire membership yesterday. I move we accept the recording as the minutes of the April meeting.
Judge Advocate seconds.
Do we have a second? Oh, no. Do we have a second?
We do.
It's,
I was the first.
okay, for a
Aaron was the
second.
second.
All right, do we have a discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? There it is, the eyes above the nose. All right, then I'm done. Yeah.
It's
All right.
become tradition.
Yeah. All right, can we hear the treasurer report, please?
Okay, treasurer's report for the period of April 1st through the 30th. Our beginning balance was $8,675.36. We had no income to report, but we had 2 disbursements. Check number 4810 for Shamala Capizzi for reimbursement for the Christmas donations to a homeless family, $750. Second one is check number 4811 to Anna Lutz for reimbursement for the DAV Spring Conference. That was the amount of $1,362.61, totaling expenses of $2,112.61. That leaves us with an ending balance of $6,562.75, and it does match the balanced bank statement on page 2. That's page 1. And I make a motion to accept my treasurer's report as presented, subject to audit.
You have a second?
Remember, please identify who you are as we're recording the audio when you make a motion or speak.
First Vice President Bob Wade. Make that motion.
We have a motion.
Scott Tremarky seconds.
Do we have a discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Awesome. So be it. All right, communications.
Thank you, Comrade Commander. Yes, we have received one communication recently via mail, and that is from the current Department of Virginia chaplain, and she is essentially writing to thank us for our support over the past 2 terms. She served as a department chaplain, and she's essentially asking for our support for her to run again at the department convention in June.
Awesome.
Unless you want me to read the entire letter? No?
Okay.
That contains the communications we received.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much for that. All right, the chaplain report.
I know you're not the chaplain, but you're the closest thing we have.
Yes, as right now.
My pleasure. Well, you have the 3 Parkinson veterans with us this morning. And it's good to go. We communicate with each other to know that we're going to be here. Irvin, Jim, and myself, just delighted to be able to participate in person rather than through Zoom. And it looks like we have one other person that we need to address, your injury. What happened to your arm?
I had my shoulder replaced.
You did, reversal, shoulder reversal, or,
It was reversed.
wow. And what is the prognosis now?
So. Very slow. I hope they get it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Also,
Another need, unless someone has something to report.
I had a follow-up report on our past commander, Tom Wendell. Anybody remember Tom?
Of course.
Trader. I spoke with Tom last night,
Awesome.
just to see how he was going. He is now 100% cancer-free. And he loves being a stay-at-home husband, and he hasn't gained any more weight according to Tom. Of course, he was a voice call and not a video, so I can't verify or confirm.
He always checks in with me on the approximate monthly grooming date of the dogs for updated pictures.
That's
Give me
sweet.
just a second.
He looks like the Tom we all knew and loved on Facebook.
Good. Yes, I see the pictures and stuff. Okay, so women's report. I just received this from Comrade Terrell. She is the chair for our Department Women Veterans Committee. There's an event in Richmond, 75-year salute to women in the military symposium. It's Monday, June 12th, 2023. 2023, at 8:30. Congressman or woman, excuse me, Jennifer McCollum will be as a guest speaker. So will the Women Office or the National Office of Women Health, the VA, will be there. They're also looking for volunteers to have a DAV table. They're looking for 2-hour shifts, but I'll provide that to Shane to put it in the After Action newsletter for women. Any others?
Thank you, Comrade Commander. I will make sure we get that in the upcoming after action.
Thank you.
And just to follow up, DAV has previously published 2 reports on women veterans in 2014 and 2018. A new report I thought was going to come out in May. Apparently either I was wrong or they decided to now launch it in October. So the new women veterans report from DAV will be later this year. They're currently working on it and fine-tuning it right now.
Awesome.
And to kind of fill in for some of the service officer items, I just want to again go over the PACT Act, which was a huge piece of legislation this last year. It impacts radiation exposed veterans, Agent Orange exposed veterans, burn pit exposed veterans. As of today, there are over 580,000 claims for the PACT Act have been received by VA. Over 275,000 of those have been decided. They're right around a 79% grant rate. Now, I think talking about the grant rate is subjective because not everybody who files a claim under the PACT Act is going to be granted based on what they're claiming. So grant rates are always, in my mind, very subjective. The VA medical centers have conducted over 3.4 million toxic screenings of veterans, 84,000 new PACT Act-related VHA enrollees. And remember, if you file a PACT Act-related claim or disability prior to August 10th of this year, your effective date will be August 10th of last year. And unless anybody has anything else to add about service claims, no? And just to give you a quick legislative update, on May 22nd, just this last week, the House passed Senate Bill 777, which is the Veterans Compensation Cost of Living Adjustment Act of 2023. It will now go to the president because the Senate already passed it The bill does not set the percentage of what the increase will be because it's tied to what Social Security Administration does. So once it's signed by the president, the reason we want to make sure everybody's aware is it'll become law and there will be a cost of living increase effective December 1st, which you will see in your check on January 1st. So we don't know what that is. Usually October, November is when Social Security will release what their percentage is. Hence, that's what it'll be for veterans receiving compensation.
Question, is this gonna just be a 1 year, once a year we have to do this again, or is it gonna permanently link it to SSA?
No, they haven't permanently linked it, and there have been some attempts recently in last Congress. There was an attempt to permanently set up a cost of living, and some organizations, including DAV, were opposed to that. Let me explain why. Because they want to chain it to a very specific consumer price index that we didn't agree with, because we know it would be lower. So why chain it permanently to a lower CPI than what we currently get? Because although it's got to be passed every year, in past years, DAV and other VSOs have been able to negotiate percentage increases even higher than what Social Security is getting. So that's why attempts to make it permanent have been pushed back by the VSO
I was
community.
concerned that it was gonna be made permanent, that was gonna lead to potential headaches for veterans benefits.
It would be a lower percentage overall is our belief. That's why DAV and other VSOs have pushed back against
Yeah,
it.
I know we had that argument with them in the past, and I just didn't want to see us get tied to it permanently.
So if you want to stay in the loop on legislative issues, go to the DAV Commanders Action Network, DAV CAN. How do I do that? That was a good question, Jerry. You go to davcan.org. davcan.org. There are currently new action alerts in there right now, pending legislation that DAV supports based on our resolutions. So I will actually show you two of the most recent ones. HR 1606, the Veterans Entrepreneur Training Act. This would statutorily authorize the Boots to Business program that helps transitioning service members to start and grow businesses. DAV supports that, as well as S1266, the Love Lives On Act. And just to make that real simple, it'll basically eliminate the remarriage age for survivors in receipt of DIC. Right now, it's been lowered to 55. If the surviving spouse gets married before the age of 55, they lose their DIC benefits. Why? Because it was based on a number somebody picked many years ago, and that's why it's at that point. Now, this would also do more than that, but the bill is very specific to those who died on active duty, not specific to our needs of survivors of disabled veterans. But it would eliminate that. And do you mind if I roll into the resolutions committee?
Yes, please. Yes.
And we'll go ahead and roll into the chapter resolutions committee, which is the chapter executive committee per our constitution and bylaws. And we approved 10 resolutions to be presented to the chapter for consideration. I sent these out yesterday in the meeting reminder with a link for everybody to review, so we didn't have to read through all 10 of them today. However, we will explain any of the resolutions that you want to explain, but if we can avoid reading all 10 of them, I think that's what we all want, yes?
Yes.
So, here's the 10 resolutions. Resolution number 1, oppose subjecting disability compensation and DIC to means testing. Number 2, support legislation for studies and presumptive diseases related to PFAS exposure. PFAS is known as a forever chemical. It was in firefighting foam. They have now identified it in the drinking water of over 700 military installations. That's why we're wanting to keep an eye on it. Resolution number 3, support legislation to include McMurdo Station, Antarctica as a radiation risk activity. They had a nuclear power plant there in the 60s. And then in the early 70s, they went, oh crap, it's been leaking the whole time. So veterans who were there were exposed to radiation. We want to get that included as a radiation risk activity. So those who are exposed to radiation can get health care if they have no other eligibility, or get their disabilities related to that exposure as a presumptive. Number 4 is very similar legislation to include service near the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power station as a radiation risk activity. If you remember 2011, in Japan, they had a 9-point-something earthquake with tsunamis that basically devastated the nuclear power plant there. And we had 75,000 active duty military members within less than a 5-mile radius of that power plant. So this would help provide them access to healthcare and disabilities if we get them included. Number 5, support legislation to provide studies relating to and healthcare and benefits resulting from toxic exposures at Karshi Kanabad, otherwise known as K2 Air Base in Uzbekistan. Part of the PACT Act, they say anybody who was stationed there was now exposed to burn pits. Problem is, there is numerous reports showing that there was petroleum, oil, and solvents in the water, in the soil, and black ooze would leak up out of it. And they found uranium and, wait for it, cyanide in the showers. I just don't understand how you find that. So this base was condemned by the Soviet Union. When they left it, the U.S. took it up between 2001 and 2005 to launch into Afghanistan. It's no longer in use. But in 2015, the Department of the Army released a report saying if you were stationed there, you're 500% more likely to get cancer. But we're not going to make it as presumptive diseases and be able to recognize that exposure. This is what we're trying to do, is recognize those specific toxic exposures and diseases related thereto. Number 6, oppose reduction, taxation, or elimination of veterans' benefits. Kind of speaks for itself. Number 7, support legislation to strengthen and protect service-disabled veteran-owned small businesses. In Northern Virginia, especially, there are a lot of service-disabled veteran-owned small businesses seeking to compete for contracts. This just wants to protect them and the percentage of contracts that have to be given out to the veteran community. Number 8, support legislation to create, improve, and reform federal programs for service-disabled veteran entrepreneurship. There are a few programs out there. DAV's just started one in the last few years called Patriot Boot Camp. And what this would also do is, through VR&E, there's a program for entrepreneur veterans to start their own business. Out of the 80,000 veterans currently in the program for VRE, only 160 are in that program. So we're working to change the eligibility to make it more accessible to veterans who want to start their own business. Because as we know, a lot of us may have disabilities, to where if we had your own business and worked your own hours, it would be much easier for us than competing in corporate America. Number 9, support enhanced medical services and benefits for women veterans. Pretty much says it right there. And number 10, provide comprehensive dental care to all service-connected disabled veterans who are enrolled within the Department of Veterans Affairs healthcare system. Currently, there is legislation pending in the Senate on expanding dental care. Senator Sanders had introduced it the last few years. They watered it down a little bit this time around because they were getting so much pushback because of cost. So the bill that they recently introduced would cover any veteran enrolled in the system who's suffering from cardiac conditions or diabetes, because bad oral dental care leads to significant problems if you have either two of those conditions. But we're supporting allowing all veterans enrolled in the system. So that concludes the report of the Resolutions Committee, Comrade Commander.
Thank you, Comrade Adjutant. Do we have a motion to accept the Resolution Committee report?
So move, Bob Wade.
All
Judge
right.
Advocate seconds.
All right. Do we have any discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Awesome. All right. Unfinished business. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, because we would have gone back and looked at the video and went, oh, no. we can't. Oh,
Oh, welcome.
by the way, we also have an additional, members in the room with us. So who's joined us in the room? Diana Myers has just joined us a few minutes ago, and I believe this is Frank, right? Almost I know what I'm doing. What's your last name, Frank? Oh, appreciate it. I think I would remember that. Easy enough. Welcome, Frank. Welcome, Diane. Unfinished business. Thank you, Comrade Commander. Adjutant Airman, myself, paid $192 for the website for the next 12 months. I was issued reimbursement checks from Comrade Treasurer, but we need to vote on it to approve the expenditure for the chapter website.
Do we have a motion?
Judge Advocate so moves to reimburse Adjutant Learman.
First vice president, second.
Awesome.
This time.
Ooh.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Hey,
Oh, okay.
And to continue on with the chapter website, if any of you had noticed recently, our website was not up for about 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That is because, in a very long story short, somebody else registered our chapter website with GoDaddy like 7 years ago, before we started using Wix for our website. Well, it expired on May 5th. And since that person is no longer active in the chapter or has access to that email, nobody knew our domain expired.
Mm-hmm.
I spent all day yesterday trying to get this figured out. And I was trying to transfer the domain from GoDaddy to Wix, which is where our website is. And it turned out to be a couple hours of me banging my head on the computer and still not getting the transfer to go through. So then I thought, you know what? We'll just sign up another year with GoDaddy for the domain and we'll switch at any other time. They said, hey, it's only $20. Wow, not so bad. And then when I clicked it, they said, oh, by the way, it's an additional $80 for us to reconnect your domain that we now own to your website. So they were going to charge us over $100 and some odd dollars to go click. So instead, I spoke with John Berger, a member of Chapter 10 and a very old school IT nerd. And we talked about it's probably just easier if we change our domain name. So I spent a whole $25 yesterday, changed our domain name or the name of the address for the website, and it was live within less than 30 minutes.
Nice.
So, website's up and running. We made a bunch of updates yesterday, and our website location is now DAVVirginia.chapter10.org. And I'm thankful nobody else owned it, so we didn't have to pay them to buy the freaking name to get the website. When you're a nonprofit organization, stuff like this is just irritating because I understand they make money by owning names and domains. But you're gonna charge us $80 for something we owned 2 weeks
Mhm.
ago? Yeah. So that completes the chapter website, issues and fun that we currently have experienced.
You want to request reimbursement? So I can write the check.
Oh, for the $25?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I have a receipt, but I can download an email to you.
That works.
Can I seek a motion to reimburse
Yeah,
myself?
yeah, motion.
I'll make a motion that Adjutant Learman be reimbursed $25 for the new chapter website. We will not reimburse the medical bills from him banging his head against the table.
He's already service connected for that. It's fine. All right. Do we have any discussion? All right. All in favor? Any opposed? Awesome.
Nobody catches a break around chapter 10.
Exactly.
Because, I had switched so many names and it took more than a week to get everything sorted out. So the fact that you did it in a day, it's.
Well, it's so complicated. I even went to GoDaddy. They had an online assistant who will walk you through it. So I emailed, was chatting with them, and then every time I would put something in, they said, we don't understand what you're referencing. I'm like, it's your site. How do you, then it dawned on me, it was AI in the chat. I wasn't communicating with a person. So then they said, send us your phone number and we'll have somebody available to text with you and figure this out. So 45 minutes later, I get a text saying, oh, can we help you? To which I said, no, thank you. Your site's confusing. And I'm going, I already went elsewhere, no, thank you. And then they text back, no, really, tell us about what's wrong. We want to. So it was much more complicated than it should have been, right? But it's all fixed. Website's up. It looks good. I even streamlined the way it looks on mobile devices, on phones. It looks much better than it did. And we got 2 little flashes for the upcoming events. We'll update those as we move along. But thank you all for your encouragement. If I know you're not going to pay for my medical bills, but a cup of ice on the forehead might feel.
All right. DAV of Virginia Convention will be held June 15th to the 18th. It'll be at the Holiday Inn in Tanglewood. Roanoke, it's currently under construction and not all rooms are available. There's an overflow hotel that's being considered.
Since we have the department senior vice commander.
Yes.
King, well, would
Could you
like to
discuss that?
enlighten us?
Yes, you in the green.
Yeah, the hotel, if they close March 82 floors, they can get the renovation started until March. And they promised January and then October of last year. So the sleep inn is across the street. It's within like 2 minutes apparently. So that's the overflow hotel we're going to use.
Mm-hmm. And I got a room there.
So for those of you who were struggling in finding a room, now we know why.
Yeah, and that was me that was actually struggling getting a room. I appreciate that.
Also to clarify for the DAV Virginia Convention, Commander DEC and Senior Vice Commander Anna Lutz will be attending as the DEC and the alternate DEC. As such, they will be reimbursed mileage and hotel per the Constitution and bylaws. We will be installing them in their positions here shortly. And then upcoming national convention, August 5th through the 8th. At our next meeting, which will be June 24th, we will vote on chapter delegates for the national convention. If you are interested in attending, please let us know so we can get you put on the delegates list. It's actually growing more and more, being such a large chapter. We now have over 2 pages, or a page and a half, almost 2 full pages of delegates to the national convention. So if you're interested in going, please let us know at least at next month's meeting so we can vote on the delegates that will be representing the chapter at the national convention in August. Sir.
If I may, if you are thinking of going but still teetering, go online now to reserve your room before you lose that spot. You can always cancel a room versus waiting to find the overflow hotel that matches to yours.
And by the way, I'm glad you brought that up, Will, on the website right now, it shows that they're having problems with being overcrowded. There are people who have reservations who haven't canceled them, and the national organization is looking for an overflow hotel for convention right now. And I'll put more information on the after action report with the links to all that so you can find the information. At this time, Comrade Commander, I would like to make a motion to dispense the rest of the meeting for the installation ceremony.
Did we have a second?
So,
Awesome. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
All right, the installing officer this morning is DAV Assistant National Service Director Scott Kramarky, who is also a lab member here of Chapter 10. So Scott, if you would please join us at the podium for the installation ceremony.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And then you just swipe it to go to the next page.
Gotcha. That's the way it's supposed to work, right?
Maybe. Maybe. Come on. Hey, look at this.
Okay, just give me a second to get oriented here. And we don't have a recognized altar, so which is
Yeah.
absolutely. And do we have an officer today?
That's that guy. But I'll fill in for.
Okay. So then Shane, Adjutant, if you would please step up and be to the right of the podium.
You're right or my right? I'm a Marine.
You're
I
right.
have two rights.
We also need you to call out the names. Oh, I'll go ahead and call out the names. How about that one? So going to take a roll call. As your name is called, please step up and stand to the left of Adjutant Shane Learman.
Just making sure we all know.
Perfect. Commander Shamala Capizzi. And I believe Senior Vice Commander, she is here.
She's not
She's
here, But we could have somebody stand in as a proxy for her.
yes. So if we can have someone stand in for Senior Vice Commander Shamala, Anna Lutz. Anybody? Just
Yep, just stand in. So you. Oh, yeah.
we didn't notice. First Junior Vice Commander Bob Whaley. Second Junior Vice Commander Joe LaHaye. Now we're going to run into an issue. If
Oh, no.
I can,
I'll start a new line in the back.
that's fine. I can see from your computer. Let's see. So we have also Treasurer Kathleen Schultz and Commander Capizzi is going to be also sworn in as the DEC. And the alternate DEC is Anna Lutz. You'll be standing for her as well. We also have Officer Day. Officer Day is not here. That would be Jim Anders.
He's here.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's here, but he's sitting down. That's fine.
Yeah, he's.
No, he's
You
fine.
can stand up and raise your hand and say, I will do anything Shannon Capizzi says.
Uh, Right. Sergeant at Arms Gary Salpini.
Oh, you didn't know that was coming.
Judge Advocate Erwin Schultz. I stand by Gary. Adjutant Shane Learman is already standing. And Assistant Adjutant Matt Johnson, we need to stand up for him. He's on a work assignment. If so.
Oh, yeah, you're not. All right, we'll just move on. We'll tell him he's illegitimate.
Hey,
You
that's my
can-
work, so.
You can install him later on.
Yeah.
Perfect. Your comrades and the disabled American veterans have great confidence in your moral integrity and your executive ability. Because of that confidence, they have elected or appointed you to your respective offices. Do you accept the office to which you have been elected or appointed? Are you ready to receive the oath of office? Yes, it worked. Those who can rise, please rise. And if you would, those being sworn in or as elected or appointed, raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
State your full name. Upon my word and honor,
of the disabled American veterans in the presence of Almighty God and my comrades, and before the flag of my country, accept the office to which I have been elected or appointed. I promise to perform the duties of such office to the best of my ability. I pledge to act and conduct myself in such a manner at all times and places as will only affect the good of the order. I promise to enforce and sustain the Constitution and bylaws of this organization. When my successor has been duly elected or appointed and installed, I promise to surrender to him or her all the property of the order in my possession, all which I now affirm. If you would please lower your hands, thank you. Upon the promise you have just solemnly made, I now install you in the office to which you have been elected or appointed. I charge you to be earnest, faithful, and devoted, and to remember that our mission as a Disabled American Veterans Organization is not fulfilled until all our country's wartime disabled and their dependents and survivors have been adequately cared for. If the audience would please seat. Yes, I'm not done with those who are pointing now. Okay. Comrades, I present to you your newly installed officers. And if everybody can be seated at this point, and if Commander Capizzi could step to the podium. Commander Capizzi.
Thank you, sir.
I now hand you the gavel, which is the symbol of your office. Congratulations.
And remember, the oath is basically be good, especially when Scott's around.
Yeah, basically, because I get to see him again in that convention. All right, awesome.
Real quick.
Yes. Okay. So Will, do you have anything, before you go into the closing ceremony, do you have anything from department that you would like to pass along to the members, our members? Okay, awesome. How about you, sir?
I have, thank you.
Okay, awesome. All right. Sorry, I gotta get my script up too. All right, so the closing, sorry.
Do you have in front of you, Comrade Commander?
I'm trying to get to it. Hold on. Okay,
You got it?
is it this one?
Oh, no, you can just go right into adjourn.
Okay,
Yeah, just go there.
or this one? Yep. Okay. All right, at this time, 1 minute of silence will be devoted in honor of our devoted comrades. Since this is Memorial Day weekend, comrades, would you rise and stand at attention? And a minute of silence. May they rest in peace. All right, motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
All right, awesome. And all in favor? Aye. Okay, all opposed. All right, awesome. All right, Comrade Chaplain, can you please lead us in a prayer?
As we close our meeting and go our separate ways, we pray your blessing upon our newly installed officers, that you might grant them wisdom from above for the decisions that they will make for the guiding and leading of chapter 10. May we not forget the reason for this weekend is not the beach and the barbecues, but is to remember those that paid the ultimate sacrifice. All gave some, but some gave all. There are many families that are grieving the loss of loved ones this weekend. May we not forget them in their grief and minister to them, we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right. Comrades, before the flag of our country, let us always be true to its ideals and worthy of its traditions. Hand salute to our flag. Ready, two? All right, awesome. I now declare this meeting of Chapter 10 Disabled American adjourned. Our next meeting will be held June 24th, 2023 at 10 o'clock at Fairfax County Government Center. Thank you. Yay.
Well done. And you should.
This is all I want to say. An hour, we got through that meeting and an installation ceremony. Huh? That's efficiency right there, Bob. All right. So I know that everybody's going to get photos with you, sir. With you, you're the installing officer.
Absolutely.
So you don't have a lot of good pictures. We could step outside and try to get some photos. It might look better out there than doing it here.
Let me, what's this called?
Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. We're
As
done.
long as someone's gonna pay me the room, otherwise.